Hello and welcome again to another Yellow Road Thinking podcasts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for sharing. And just thank you for being here. So, as we know, it's summer. And one of the most beautiful things about summer, if you are an avid gardener, which I am, is going out in the garden. It's sitting, enjoying the beautiful evenings, the warm, pleasant twilight as it goes into evening, sometimes having a fire, we're out with family and friends, or just waking up in the morning and having that beautiful cup of coffee when it's peaceful and tranquil. What a beautiful, beautiful way to start the morning. Anyway, so as someone who enjoys gardening and recently just moving into a new home, thank God we have a garden outside. And um, due to the former owners, I guess they were not really interested in gardening. They had let the back be overtaken by ivy. Now, again, to those people who don't relate or comprehend gardens or the like, ivy is one of those things that crawls and overtakes and kills anything that's undergrowth. Anyway, I set myself a project to eliminate this ground cover, and it's quite a project. I've got to say, it's been quite a project. And me being me, I try to look at everything I do as either a lesson or something to learn from it. So indulge me while I just express and explain the process of what goes into a project like what I'm describing. I do have a goal and I have a point to the end of it, so please indulge me. So you survey the scene and it's overwhelming. This, ungardened, not been obviously not been taken care of for years and years and years. I don't know how many years, but it's if you look at it, you have to have a goal of what you want to achieve. So the first thing is that you have to assess what there is there. You have to take care. You don't know what's underneath. Could be rocks, could be glass, could be metal, could be anything underneath there. So the first thing you have to do is, besides setting up and having a goal of what you want to do, you have to have the right tools. A good pair of gloves, the tools, whether you're going to rip it up, dig it up, cut it, you make sure you have the appropriate tools. And then you have to have a mindset. Yes, this is going to take a while. Anyway, so you start and you're ripping it up and you taking up, and underneath you find spiders and bugs. And like I said, you find amazing stuff underneath there that's been hidden for years. Like I said, you find rocks and you find pieces of metal and glass and garbage. So it takes patience, and you rip it up, and it's backbreaking. It's um, you need dedication. Again, you are limited to the weather, and within your own balance of life, job, family, commitments, you have to sometimes set a time to do this endeavor. You have to negotiate with the other members of your family, and can I have time to do this? Anyway, once you've set that plan out and you get involved, and you at first, like I said, it's overwhelming. And then slowly but surely you start to find some progress. And you taking away the ivy and you're putting it into piles, and you have to fill up your waste, garden waste garbage can, and there's only a certain amount you can put in. So you are at the mercy of a certain amount of volume in that garbage can. You can only fill it. So you can either make piles on the side, or you kind of, wait till they pick it up once a week and then you can start again. But as I was doing this, you noticed that as you let the air come in, this virgin soil that's not been seen for how knows long. You have friends along the way. You have the birds who are coming along, new territory, new bugs, new food, and they kind of, you get used to them, they get used to you, and they appreciate lunch, snack. They didn't get it. And as this process goes, uh, the end of each installment of time, I used to step back and go, wow, look what I've achieved, and but how much have I got left to do? Or you look at it and go, wow, look what I found underneath there. You see some plant life that has been hidden underneath this curtain of ivy. Anyway, it's now taken me a few years to accomplish this. And I always take pictures, like I said in my last podcast, keep taking pictures because you look back at it. You take pictures of the before and afterwards, and it's an amazing. You kind of think you never get there, and then once you get there, you go, "Wow, look what I've achieved! Look what I've done!" And then you look at the difference in colors. You plant. What I've done, I planted seeds over each winter, and they've come through, and now, excuse me, my garden is vibrant. It's got yellows and purples and whites and different, beautiful, different flowers, shapes and sizes and smells that I really do appreciate. After the end of a hard day, you sit there with a cold beverage, just relaxing, and you notice the bees and the birds and the butterflies and the expansive color that enhances the back garden. There is one area that I had to chop down a lot of trees, prune them, dead trees, dead branches. And again, looking back, there is now light. There's more light in my back garden. There's more space. There's more comfort's the wrong word. Let me find a good word for it. It's like a new canvas. What used to be thorny brambles and just literally weeds. Now there is space. I have more space in my garden. I'm a pioneer. I have reclaimed some of my small garden. It's more open. It's more bright. It's more relaxing. Again, like I said, you hear the noises of birds, and you hear the buzzing of bees, and the colors, the butterflies. No, I'm not romantic, but it's still pretty beautiful. Anyway, so I was the other day, I was like sitting again in the evening, just reminiscing of the hard work, the diligence, the discipline, the frustration, all that comes with this. And I was thinking to myself, how can I, as I said in my introduction, what lesson can I learn from this? And then it came to me. First of all, I'll tell you a story, which was one of my favorite stories I use all the time. I could have used it in one of the old podcasts. I don't know. I'm sure I did, because this story has many meanings and many interpretations, but this fits into this podcast. So if you go somewhere in China, there, as you know, there are many different Buddhas temples. Anyway, I was reading in of all the sorts of books I've read. There's one of the chicken book for the soul. There was a story about this person went down to somewhere in China and he had to go down to the middle of nowhere and he visiting this temple. And as he walked in, he noticed there was a glass box and it had a clump of clay there. And so goes the story. He goes inside into the temple, and there's a massive, absolutely incredible, huge, as they have to their credit, that's what they do, huge statue of a Buddha, but not just any type of Buddha, a golden, incredible Buddha. And the story goes along. The author talks to the monks there and says, "Can you explain to me what that glass box to the side of clay is all about?" And he relays that the monks told him the story of way back in the day, this temple has been there for hundreds of years. And at one stage in their history, they were further from where they are now, but the local authorities were building a dam and they told everyone you have to relocate. Okay, that's so they decided to relocate and they had to get a crane for this big Buddha. And due to the fact they didn't know the weight, that they tried to lift it up and this Buddha was too heavy for the crane. Meanwhile, to get the Buddha out, they had to take down the temple. So therefore it was in the process of moving. So there wasn't a roof and it was just an open roof. Nothing was there. But these diligent monks of the past said, you know what, we'll cover it up overnight while we get a new one, but due to the fact that we will stand guard. And they start a rotation of monks just out of respect for their Buddha. So goes the story that it started to rain. And one of the centuries of the Buddhas decided, you know, I'm going to go and check to make sure that their deity was covered up, just out of respect, I guess. And as he goes out, as he goes towards it, he noticed that he noticed a sudden flash, a speck of light, and he's like, that's interesting. And he went towards it, and underneath the canopy, the tarpaulin, he notices that there seems to be something not the color of the original Buddha. Anyway, why? Don't know why. I'm just telling the story. He starts chipping away, and to cut a long story short, he realized underneath there is a Buddha of gold. And he calls the rest of the brotherhood there, and they decided to investigate this. And again, to cut long story short, they realized that underneath the Buddha was a golden Buddha. And the story went as follows, is that hundreds of years beforehand, there was a tribe of savages and robbers that were pillaging all the temples in the area. And the monks at the time decided to cover their Buddha in clay to hide away from the robbers. And like most things they forgot about it until this diligent monk noticed and they uncovered the story. That's how the story goes. So what's the moral is that deep down underneath the mud that covers all, there is an in gold potential who we really are. So I was thinking about this story while I reflected on the hard work and the discipline of me over the last 3 years of doing this garden experiment. And as I sat back and saw the activity, the beauty that came to it, and I realized the journey, that it was a great idea for a podcast. That if we look at each and every one of us, you know, what is your goal? You know, what do you want to achieve? You know, things will slowly come together. Everything will work out if you have faith and patience during this process. Again, one wants to be a better person. The best way to it, we've talked about this before, is what is your goal? What is your end goal? What do you want to do? Just like I wanted to get rid of all this ivy. What do you want? You want to be a better parent? You want to be a better husband? You want to be a better a student? You want to be a better business owner? You put in that space. Find your goal. Have the right tools, just like I had to find, the right tools to do what I needed to do, whether it meant, getting garbage bags to throw out the non-biodegradable ivy. Like I said, I found lots of garbage there. Small things that we don't even think about, but you need it. So I need a goal. You need a plan. You need the right tools. You need the dedication. You need to have the discipline. You need to understand that it's not a straight line. It's going to take years, maybe time. Again, like I said, you have to negotiate all around you. My family, my commitments, the weather. I may have had an afternoon free, but it was pouring with rain. I'm not going to go outside. So again, time takes time. Let's be honest. Goals, here I wrote down a thing. Goals gives us tools to put dreams into action. For me, it was the garden. For you, it could be something else. Sometimes along the journey we change, we appreciate, we see that as we get rid of the trash in our life, what happens is the birds come in and eat the bugs. You get rid of stuff you don't need, and what are you putting instead? Like for me, it was the plants. And what did I get out of it? The beauty, the smell, the relaxation, the appreciation, just to see how other animals benefited. Pollination, we all need that. Bees, unfortunately, for some reason, there's a lack of bees. So everything has an action, positive and negative, that affects not just you, but affects your outlook, other people around you. Again, another point I wrote down: shift the energy and creativity from creating excuses to achieving goals. Some people say, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but I want it now. And not every goal takes now. If you want to have a scrambled egg, okay, that takes quick time. But if you want to learn a language, you want to be a better parent, a better husband, a better whatever, it's going to take dedication. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take planning. It's going to take realizing the ups and downs and the scrapes and the disappointments. But it can be achieved. It really can. Again, what is your goal? What is your golden Buddha? Because you have one. Again, it can be something mental, it can be something physical, it can be something emotional, it can be something spiritual. What do you want? You can go from a mess to a serene, relaxing environment. I can put in there jasmine, for example, and when that blooms on a spring, summer, warm evening, the smell is, for those people who can relate to this, it's that smell is something beyond words. It's looking back at what was and what can achieve, and give you the motivation and the belief that you can do it. Again, it doesn't have to be a garden, but I'm just using the analogy of anything is possible. Dedication, persistence, a goal, getting the right tools, patience. And then when it's all said and done, sit back and take in the journey that got you where you are, appreciate, compliment yourself. Be honest. Look what I achieved. Look what it was and what I've done. And I mean, there are so many different angles you can go at it. So, hey, listen, it gave me an idea for a podcast. It gives me a beautiful serenity when I just need time to just go outside and just detox and just relax. you know. Again, if you like nature like I do, it's when you see different birds coming and different colored butterflies, again, it gives you that, wow, the world is incredible. The world is beautiful. The world has so much potential. But with all this beauty, there's still weeds you have to get rid of, and you have to maintain it. Right. But once you get to a standard, it's easier just to maintain it because you kept it in control. Um, so yeah, so that's my podcast for this week. I hope you can relate to it. Hope you take something. So again, just because I want this world to be more light, as I kept saying, please, if this inspired you, share it. Share the message, share the podcast, share it with other people. There can't be enough lights. There can't be enough beautiful scented flowers out there to dispel the disappointment, the frustrations, the darkness that one can look at life at. Or let's share this light and take in the smells of beautiful flowers, inspiring nature, and internalize it. And like we have a garden that we can achieve in many different ways. Thank you again. Hope to see you soon. Appreciate it. God bless. Keep being curious. Keep believing in yourself. And till next time. Thanks.